Okay, Torah Megillah Esther 192, second column, second paragraph. Alter Rebbe is explaining that what did Avram Avinu had the saved of Rotzav Hashem on his own. Now we need Torah mitzvahs. Dafka negashmis the thing, but it needs to have the garments, the Ava and Yira, because it has to be elevated higher and higher, and that's what he explains. The garments at the level of mitzvahs, but it has to be a sus. It has to come down in a limited form. And the last thing he said, that sus, which equals 126, is twice the level of sag, which is that level of elokus, which is a very exalted level, and that level needs to be brought down. So he says, he said before that what brings down this level of kedusha down here, he calls it sus, which represents the letters, the limitation of Torah mitzvahs. So he says, what is the inyan of a horse? The purpose of a horse is to bring the rider to a place the rider couldn't get on its own. Okay, it's too far, or up hills, or down, whatever. Yes, but in that itself, there's two levels. Number one, the horse can take him up to very high mountains, and he can lower him to very low valleys. In other words, a horse can bring you all the way up, and a horse can bring you all the way down. In this level of bittul, that he says the sus of keeping Torah mitzvahs is bittul, it has beis bechinas, two levels. Mimata l'mayla, one aved of bittul is from the low Jew going up higher. I mean, through bittul aveda, the Jew elevates himself higher. L'makom, to such a place, shein yanika v'achiza l'siter achra. It goes up to a place that evil can't exist there. Alma decheres, a world of freedom. Gei al yusana, it means higher upon high. Shleinitem lahem shafa v'chayis. That there's no sustenance in that level of kedusha. He brings a pasuk. Im tagbia kanesher. It says like this. It's about klipa. If somebody will elevate themselves like an eagle that flies the highest all the way up there, mishamer yitchanu Hashem. If you plan to go up, you're going to get thrown down. Which means there are levels of kedusha that evil doesn't exist there. All it is kedusha. This is what the pasuk. So what is the level of a sus? A sus can bring a person to a high, lofty level, such a high level that evil can't exist. Or like he says, the pasuk says, sus v'reich v'rama v'yam. You know, the Yashi says like this, sus v'reich, simply it means the horse and its rider, rama v'yam, he threw him into the sea. Right? The rider is drowned together with the horse. But Rama, he says, Rama lashul reimemis. Here the word Rama has two opposite meanings. Rama can mean reimemis, being exalted, and Rama vayam simply means it threw him into the ocean. So reimemis can be two opposite things, either all the way up, Rama kol vayim Hashem, or it can be Rama vayam, they threw him into the ocean. Ushnei and emes, and both are true. How can you have very high and very low at the same time? He says it's both true. Kimach mesreimemis, because of the great level, nasa bechinas hashlocha. It could come all the way down. And the contrary, the higher the thing, it's more powerful. So therefore it can fall very, very low down. We learned in the past, there's a story that Rabbi had a chassid. One of his kids went, as they call it today, OTD, off the derech. So he came to the Alter Rebbe and he said, what should I do with my son? So the Alter Rebbe said, get him to see me. So he wasn't religious, but he was still, a Chassidish Bengel. Like the Rebbe wanted to see him, so he came. So he comes to the Alter Rebbe says to him, okay, I understand you went off, but why so much off? I mean, so far you went, why so far? He said to him, Rebbe, I'll give you an example. I'm a horse. He says, there's a fast horse and a slow horse. Okay? When you're going on the path and you get lost, so a slow horse gets lost a little bit. And a fast horse gets lost a lot. Right? Because he goes faster. So he says, Rebbe, I'm a fast horse. So the Rebbe said to him, but the difference is, when he realizes he's going to make a mistake, that he's lost, and he turns around, so the fast horse comes back quicker. So the kid became a Baal Tshuva. So you can have a sus that goes very far, very high and very low. You know what I mean? The higher the thing, the motion, the faster the horse, the further it can get lost. The further down it comes.
Rabbi, the horse takes the rider where the rider wants to go.
Correct.
So the rider...
Yeah, but there's a level that the rider can't get to on its own.
But the rider wants to go up, otherwise the horse...
Right. If he wants to go up, Aved the Momato Lamaila, he wants to go up, the horse will take him there. Torah mitzvahs will take him there. If you want to go low, Torah mitzvahs can take a person very low down. A person could be an unbelievable scholar, and he can be so low, you can't imagine how low. It's not a contradiction. Like he says, Torah could take you super high, Torah could take you super low. Like we're learning in Tanya. You learn Torah Shalei Lishma, you can lower the person, though all the Torah learning is in Klippa. Shosh Klippa Tmeis. Okay, you can do tshuva and come back, but until then, the Rebbe says, until then, it stays in Klippa. That's why all these people you find in Torah were very low. Not only goyim, you have you can have an Esav, but Shalpidin had a din of a Jew, the Gemara says. That you can have an Esav, and a Kairach, and a Dasan Vaviram, and all those types of people. Because they're very great people. Yeravim ben Nevat. The Gemara says there was nobody like him in learning. In his time, there was nobody like Yeravim ben Nevat that made the Jews worship idols and not allow them to go up to the Beis HaMikdash. Yeah? There was nobody like him in learning. What do you think? You picture Yeravim ben Nevat was this, this wicked low life. These were very lofty people. They just got messed up and they fell very, very low.